What's up, duelists? I'm Ashton, and welcome to another Testing Tuesday, where every Tuesday I try out one of Yu-Gi-Oh's many different decks and archetypes, give you a little bit about what I expect from the deck, show some game highlights, and then give some closing thoughts at the end. This week, we have the Punk archetype, a series of Fiend and Psychic monsters, which, with occasional Beast, which tries to do a bunch of Synchro summons into powerful boss monsters, including Synchro summoning boss monsters on your opponent's turn, so you can interrupt them. Now, to start off, this deck is brought to you by Top Deck TJ. He is a Punk expert. He's been playing this deck for a long time, since it came out, and he knows a lot about the ins and outs of the deck. So go ahead and check out the video that this list comes from. I've only modified a few things, like adding a third Nibiru and a third Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, rather than the Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill that he had. And in the extra deck, he plays a Blackluster Soldier Link and a Cross Sheep, whereas I have taken those out and replace it with a Draglubion Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon package instead. But let's go ahead and go through some of the cards here, let you know what this deck does, and then we'll show you some test games. So first of all, we have the Punk cards. No Punk Ogre Dance, no Punk Foxy Tune, and no Punk Deer No. Now all these cards are the big level cards that you need to get onto the field so you can go into your Synchro plays. Ogre Dance's main purpose is to be able to get anything that you need into your hand, because its effect is you can send it from your hand or field to the graveyard, add a Punk monster from your deck to your hand, except for level 8. So it can't search itself, it can't search Foxy Tune, but it can search a Deer Note if you need an extender, it can search Shirakuzai, it can search Wagon, Madam Spider, or Zeamin if you need those. Foxy Tune, on the other hand, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, send another card from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon a Punk from deck. So this, as long as you have two cards that you can just pitch, this will get you automatically into your Shirakuzai or your Zeamin, and you can get your plays going. No Punk Deer Note is an extender. You have to pitch two cards to be able to special summon itself out, but it's a 5, which will work well with your 3 level 3 tuners, so you can go into Synchro plays. For your starters, we're looking at 2 Shirakuzai, 3 Zeamin. Shirakuzai can go ahead and fusion summon the Rising Carp, which will let you get into more plays, and Zeamin has the effect that it can add a Punk monster from deck to hand. Doesn't matter what it is except for itself, and so that can get your plays going as well. Wagon is a one of here. It can search the field spell, Jam Extreme Session, and then Madam Spider is here to search one of the traps. As for the other ones, like we mentioned, because Wagon's going to search the field spell is basically just draw 2. Anytime you would pay life points to activate the effect of a Punk monster, you're going to go ahead and draw a card that's extremely powerful. You can only do it twice per turn, but you're going to probably be able to get that off almost every game. It's basically Pot of Greed. And also, you can banish a Punk monster from your graveyard and special summon another one, which makes this incredible for going and extending your plays. Dangerous Gabu and Nashiwari Surprise are destruction effects and monster negates. So these cards are really good for just being able to control the pace of the game. And that's pretty much all of the Punk cards. It's a very, very good, efficient engine that can be brought out very easily and really has some pretty good consistency, which means that the rest of the deck is just a bunch of hand traps. The only other thing that you need to be worried about is Emergency Teleport is a 3/0 to be able to get into your Zeamin very, very easily. The rest of it, it's hand traps that you just pick from your discretion. I'm playing 3 Nib, 2 Chaos Hunter is in here, and I get this. This is so that you can go ahead and try to combat against Kashtira with all the banish stuff, because Chaos Hunter will prevent banishing. We're also playing 3 Kashtira Fenrir ourselves. This is basically just like a free Barone if you open it in your hand, because it can special summon itself. You get a level 3 tuner on the field. You have a Barone de Fleur. Pretty easy, pretty great there. I'm playing 3 Ash. I'm playing 1 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. This could be bumped up if you really think it needs to be. The interesting thing about this is, for some reason, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is a Psychic, which means that if you can get out Punk Amazing Dragon, who can bounce cards on the field up to the number of Psychic monsters in your graveyard, level 3 Psychic monsters with different names, then this can be added onto that and get potentially up to 4 different cards to return to the hand. This thing, Amazing Dragon, basically just becomes a Mega Ryza on crack, basically. We're also playing 3 Triple Taxes Talent, still a great card. Easily side-outable if the matchup doesn't work with it, but still a great card in this format. And then 2 Infinite Impermanence. For the extra deck, we have 1 Rising Carp, which whenever it uses its effect, it contributes itself and get 2 Punk monsters onto the field. Usually you're going to get a tuner and Deer Note. You're going to be able to go into the Punk Jam Dragon Dive. When Jam Dragon Dive is special summoned by the effect of a Punk card or Synchro, you can pay 600, take a level 3 Psychic monster from deck, add it to the hand, or send it to the graveyard. So again, make sure that you get resources when you need it. We also play Yu-Gi-Oh! Punk Amazing Dragon. This card is going to be Synchro summoned on your opponent's turn using the effect of Shirakuzai. Because it's quick effect, you can pay 600 life points immediately after a resolve, Synchro summon a Punk monster. Whenever this thing is Synchro summoned, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of level 3 Psychic monsters with different names you control in your graveyard, return them to the hand. Then you can also, if it survives that opponent's turn, target a Punk monster in your graveyard, just special summon it for free. It's really easy to get OTKs with this card as well. We also play one Psychic Hidden Punisher, really great in this deck. It can just kill outright sometimes. Baron de Fleur, really easy to get with Fenrir. One Changing comes up sometimes. The Draglubion, Hope Harbinger Tachyon package, an Avramax, an Axis Coda Unicorn, and a Dark for utility. This deck has a lot going for it, and I personally think it's pretty fun to play, at least so far in my early testing. Let's go ahead and see how consistent it is. Let's see how powerful it is. Let's get into the duels. All right, they are going to go ahead and let us go first, and we drew the starter card. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're just going to start out straight up with a normal summon of Z-Amin, and we're going to activate its effect. We're going to go ahead and search a Punk monster from deck to hand. It can be anything that we want. They are going to affect Failure, which would be a problem, but we do have Triple Tactics talent. So let's go ahead and look at our opponent's hand, because we have the Deer Note here, which will let us reveal the Z-Amin and special summon itself. So we don't really need to go draw these two cards right now. So instead, I'm going to look at my opponent's hand and shuffle a card from it into the deck. Oh, they are playing Sword Soul. Well then. It's a little crusty. 2 Ghost Mourner. We're going to get hit by that at some point. Soul or Emergence or Moye. I think we're going to get rid of the Emergence, actually. Because the goal here is to get Amazing Dragon onto the field. So once they put the Moye on the field, we're just going to bounce everything. Let's go ahead and activate Deer Note, reveal this, our second Z-Amin, and we're going to go ahead and special summon the Deer Note. We can activate this. It's not super important. And then we're going to go into our Synchro summon of our Jam Dragon Dive. Jam Dragon Dive effect, we're going to go ahead and search for our level 3 Psychic monster and add it to our hand. And then Deer Note, because it was sent from the field to the graveyard, I'm going to target a Punk monster in graveyard, accept a level 5 and special summon it. I'm going to go ahead and activate that as well. Special summon Z-Amin. Now you can negate that, which is fine. Now, the interesting thing is, I think I might actually go ahead and make Psychic End Punisher here, because Amazing Dragon, we're not actually going to be able to Synchro summon on our opponent's turn. So we're going to go ahead and Psychic End Punisher here. I'm going to bring it out. This thing's going to be a house. We're going to set one, and we're going to pass the turn. So we know he has 1 Ghost Mourner, and we know he has a Moye. And they surrender. I feel like that first game really showed off the power of Triple Tactics talent there. So hopefully this game we can kind of see the power of the Punk cards themselves. I mean, Psychic End Punisher that can't be affected by your opponent's card effects is pretty good as well. And this hand is actually pretty stacked. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm going to go ahead and activate Ogre Dance first. And the purpose of doing that is me trying to test out if they have any hand traps here that trigger. Because we didn't see any, we feel decently safe to like just pop off here. I'm going to go ahead and do Shirakuzai here. Special summon Rising Carp using Shirakuzai, using Foxy Tune. Put in defense, doesn't super matter. We'll activate the Rising Carp. We are going to special summon Wagon and Deer Note. Wagon effect, we're going to go ahead and search out the field spell. Activate the field spell. So anytime that we use a Punk effect that loses life points from us, we're going to draw a card. We're going to go ahead and Synchro into Jam Dragon Dive. This is pretty standard combo. You do this a lot. We're going to activate Jam Dragon Dive. We're going to activate Deer Note. Deer Note, we're going to special summon the Shirakuzai back. And then with Jam Dragon Dive, we're going to add the Madam Spider. And then because that chain resolved and we spent life points off of Jam Dragon Dive, we're going to draw a card. Now we're going to go ahead and activate Jam Extreme Session, banish the Deer Note in order to special summon Madam Spider from our hand. We're going to activate Madam Spider, lose 600, add the Dangerous Gabu to negate monster effects, activate Jam Extreme Session, draw a card, and now we're pretty off to the races here. I mean, we have pretty powerful hand traps here. We have one nib, we have a monster negate here, and then we're going to have 3 bounces on our opponent's turn. Now we could Foxy Tune, but I think it may just be better to hold on to what we have. I'm actually going to use Foxy Tune here. I'm actually not. I'm going to leave it be. I'm going to just... Oh, I'm going to pass with this set here, and then I'm going to pass. Yeah. I almost passed there without setting that trap. That would have been awful. Dragon Shrine. That's an interesting one. Okay. Dragon Core Hexer. Interesting. Okay, sure. Dragon Spirit of the White. So we are going to get some classic blue eyes. 2 sets so far, and in phase. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and Synchro summon here. Amazing Dragon using Shirakuzai, Dragon Dive. Gonna trigger its effect. Do that as 1, targeting both of your sets and this. Draw a card. Drew Dram Extreme Session, sure. Silver's Cry. That's fine. That is going to be perfectly okay. I'm actually not going to waste my Dangerous Gabu. I could, but I'm not gonna. Blue Eyes. Sure. I'm pretty sure we're good here. We're going to go ahead and activate the other Jam Extreme Session, and this could get pretty ugly pretty fast. I'm going to go ahead and Amazing Dragon. We're going to get Jam Dragon Dive. Jam Dragon Dive effect. We're going to go ahead and search. We're going to search Ghost Ogre, actually. Which is the other crazy thing about playing Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is you can actually search it. We're going to draw another card. Our hand is stacked. Oh, this is stupid. Look at how many cards we have. This deck is insane. The worst part is we could also just activate this. Go ahead and draw another. Those are our 2. This is... You can't lose. You just can't lose. I don't see an L here. Gonna Synchro here. For a big boy himself. This is insane. So we can also... We're gonna go normal Z-Almond. Activate its effect. We're gonna search ourselves a Shirakuzai. Doesn't super matter. I'm actually gonna banish my Z-Almond, banish the blue eyes. And like, the thing about it is, this is like probably enough. Let's do some quick math. Yeah, and that's about the game. Psychic Punisher, with how little life points I have, it's insane. It's insane. Now, because of how insane this deck kind of is on the casual matches, I'm going to go ahead and play a best of 3 match here in the competitive ladder so you guys can see kind of what this deck does in a best of 3 format. This hand leaves a little bit to be desired, but it still can get us what we need. So we're going to go ahead and activate Jam Extreme Session, activate the Foxy Tune, pitch 1 talent because we already have 2, and then we are going to special summon Z-Almond. Going to activate Z-Almond, pay 600. We're going to add to our hand a Shirakuzai. And then because we paid 600, go ahead and Jam Extreme Session, draw a card. We're going to normal summon our Shirakuzai. Activate its effect, pay 6. Use these 2 for Rising Carp. Extreme Session draws a card. That's pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and activate Carp. We're gonna get I think we're actually gonna get Madam Spider and Deer Note. Because we already have the field spell, so it's not important to search that. Gonna activate this, get the Nashiwari Surprise. Then we will go ahead and Jam Dragon Dive. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Jam Dragon Dive. Activate Dive. Activate Deer Note. Deer Note, special summon Shirakuzai. We're gonna go ahead and add. I'm actually gonna add Snow Rabbit here because we don't need the field spell. And then we're just gonna set 1, set 2, pass it back over. Oh, you're gonna evenly me now? Yep. Okay. That is really rough. Now I don't know if Psychic and Punisher counts as activated effects. I mean, you had to activate it. Yeah, it's an activated effect. Let's go ahead and Shirakuzai. Oh, this was a incorrect move. Yeah, this does effectively nothing. Yeah, that does effectively nothing. Let's go ahead and just get rid of everything. Because Evenly is a very fun card that I love playing against. Oh, duality, huh? Yeah, let's not do that. I'd rather not. Oh, Labyrinth. That's gonna be a little annoying. Alright, just flip them up. What you got? Big welcome Labyrinth. We're not gonna let that happen. We're gonna go ahead and punk here. We'll go Jam Dragon Dive. Seems like a good move. Test the waters here a little bit. I mean, it's just a free special summon. It's kind of insane. Put in attack mode. Activate itself. Tears over the Overroot. Target a card your opponent controls and 1 card in your graveyard. Send that card on the field of the graveyard, and if you do, set the other one. Set Emma Ash. I mean, it's fair enough, I suppose. I'm going to grab Z-Almond. Now I'm going to grab Wagon. I think that makes sense. Let's normal Wagon. Activate its effect. It's going to search as the field spell. And this can get bonkers. We're going to activate the field spell. We could go Psychic and Punisher here, but I'm not sure which one would... Is that better? So yeah, I guess the reason why Shirakuzai didn't work is that it has to be a Punk Synchro monster. So I could not use it to special Psychic End. I'm at 38. Psychic and Punisher would not quite be enough to kill. So if that's the case, I'm not sure it's worth it. I don't know. He's pretty big. I'm gonna go for it. Oh yeah, this works. I'll just banish that. Banish the face down. And that way, yeah. Okay, great. All right, they're going first. Let's see what they got. I also love that I ended up not drawing any of my back row removal. And here comes set 4 pass. Ah, there's one. There's one. Oh, yeah. Let's force that out right now. Has to happen. You've got to have something for this. Dimensional Barrier. That's fine. Call Synchro. That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with it. Lady Labyrinth. That is perfectly fine. Big welcome. Yep. We're going to force it all out right now. Yep. Ooh, skill drain. I love seeing that was gone. Let me read the clock again. We just did a Testing Tuesday on this. Check that video out. We did that last week. So it's actually pretty cool that we're getting to see this matchup real quick. Yeah, I'm not worried. We have Fenrir, who is busted. Go and activate Fenrir. Add Fenrir. So the goal here is going to be to get into one of these links or an XZ, since we can't synchro. So let's see if I can find a way to do that. I will start with an E-Telly. E-Telly makes a lot of sense to me. We'll special Xiamen. Activate its effect. We will add to my hand Shirakuzai. I think this is still, like, not bad. We're going to normal Shirakuzai. We're going to activate its effect. Tribute itself and special summon Rising Carp. We're going to use that, and we'll use the Foxy Tune for Rising Carp. We'll activate its effect. Go ahead and get rid of it. And we will special summon Wagon and Deer Note. Wagon effect. We'll go ahead and search out the field spell. We're going pretty standard until just a second, and they're going to go ahead and surrender. That's great. That's great. So that was the deck. I got to be honest, guys. I think this deck is insanely fun to play. Top Deck DJ, if you're watching this, thank you so much for that video, for your deck list, because it has got me into this deck, and I think it might be one that I'm going to stick with. I love Synchro summoning. It is probably my favorite summoning mechanic in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've been kind of fiending for a Synchro deck to play for a long time. I didn't really want to do Sword Soul. I don't really want to do Synchron. Sword Soul's just not exactly my cup of tea, and Synchron is a little too involved for what I prefer. But this deck might just be scratching that itch, because not only is it a Synchro deck, but it plays a fusion, it has an XC package you can run into, and it plays links. It plays everything. It has everything. It has a bunch of hand traps. This is like Synchro salad, if I can make that comparison. It has room for a bunch of hand traps. It draws a whole bunch of cards, and yet it still makes a hugely powerful board, which is not something that Salad can do anymore. This is actually something that I've had a lot of fun playing this week, and this is the purpose of Testing Tuesday. Part of it is trying out different decks so I can learn them and just broaden my knowledge of Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game. Part of it is entertainment, show you guys some decks, maybe get a deck that maybe you're interested in, even if I'm not, and to have a lot of fun. But also part of it is to try to find more decks that I personally would love to actually play more of, get really deep in, really go all in on, and probably even build IRL for locals. And I think, I'm going to keep playing with it, but I think Punk might be the deck for me. This deck is incredibly fun to play. I can't wait to play some more of it, do some more testing with it. Maybe I'll try a Therion build, right? Or maybe I will try one of the Gold Pride builds that I've seen floating around. I'm not sure. I tried Punk Pure this time. I really, really enjoyed it. And I think if you're somebody who, like me, really likes combo decks that have a lot of different lines they can go into, and that draw a lot of cards that can get you into a lot of hand traps, this is the deck for you. I'm going to keep testing it. I had a great time with it. Pick it up if you're one of those people, and if you're like me, I think you'll have a great time. Go ahead and comment below and let me know what you think about the Punk strategy. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is it annoying? Do you like playing with it? How do you feel about it? Let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to tell me your own archetype or deck that you think that I should try out on this series. I'm always looking for new suggestions, so please drop them down below. Let me know what you want to see. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, that I can see that you are enjoying the content, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.